It's here. Donda Day is here. And I can't be any more excited about it. We have gotten an hour and 48 minutes plus of Donda, 26, soon to be 27 songs with the Jail Part 2 coming. I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. 2 hours of beautiful, grand, epic music. I feel like I was a volcano waiting to erupt for like a month and a half now, and finally today I just let it all out. Naturally, so weird, I woke up at 8 a.m. and I got a message from the homie Will saying Donda was out. I didn't believe it, and here it is on Spotify. It's here. I'm still speechless. I got up and I just wanted to listen to the full thing. Just listen, close my eyes, dance, whatever I wanted to do, and just have that experience of listening to the final cut of the album for the first time. And I literally teared up because I was so happy. And Kanye, to me, you know, I'm just putting my emotions into it right now, right? Like, he's my favorite artist. He's the reason I'm here right now, and he's just my biggest inspiration. And between the music and the album rollout and everything, it's just a big day. And that's why it means so much for me and Kanye fans all around the world. So honestly, like, I didn't know where to start when making this video because it is almost 2 hours, 26, 27 songs, and with multiple listening party rollouts, we have already pretty much heard this album a few times. And there really is a lot to unpack, so I really do want to start with Jail. Now, in the third listening party, we heard Kanye take Jay-Z off of Jail and put a DaBaby verse on it, and this was very controversial. I feel like a lot of fans weren't a fan of this move because of how special the Jay-Z feature was. And even though some people said maybe the DaBaby feature was even better than the Jay-Z feature, Jay-Z being on the song is just so special. You know, this month was the 10th anniversary of Watch the Throne, their amazing collaboration album, and they're brothers. And, you know, we know they had some tension, so when we heard them back together, it was a very, very special moment. And, you know, this verse from Jay-Z, it feels very Big Brother, right? Like, this verse from Jay, he tells Donda, he tells Kanye's mom that he's bringing him home, and, you know, it kind of like he's taking care of him. The production on this song, absolutely amazing. I love this instrumental so much. Between the electric guitar, the big synths, really just reminds me of this big, grand rock song. And I love that he starts the album with this, right? Like, he says he's still going to jail. It's like he's still reckless, but God always forgives him and always has his back. And I love his faith. Really love this record so much. Love this right off the rip. Not to mention, Francis and the Lights absolutely kills their part in this song. I love that they harmonize on here and that Francis has a couple lines within the verse. Amazing. Now, you know, we heard different versions of songs throughout the listening parties, and OK, Junior, and Jesus Lord have part 2s and remixes that we heard in the third listening party on Spotify and Apple Music, but we don't have the Jail Part 2 with DaBaby, the remix, because Kanye did post on Instagram that, you know, DaBaby's manager wouldn't clear it yet or something. So I still feel like we're going to get that Jail remix with DaBaby, just who knows when that's going to come. So I'm going to start like grouping songs together, right? Because some songs had a very similar feel of production. So this group of songs I want to get into, it's kind of darker production, right? The next couple songs on the album and when you jump around. So between God Breathed, Off the Grid, Praise God, and OK, these productions felt more like Yeezus, and with these heavy 808s, these darker tones of production and these darker features, right? The deliveries were a little more angry. You have Travis Scott on there, Playboi Carti, Lil Yachty, Vory, Fivio Foreign, Baby Keem, and Ruga. Between those songs, I mean, you have all those features, which are all honestly really great features. I think every feature on this album is actually pretty damn good. Right, you have that like that choir on God Breathed right there with that 808. It's very eerie, very mysterious, very dark. I think Fivio Foreign and Travis were my favorite features between all these, and I don't normally listen to Playboi Carti, but he was actually really good on his first feature here. He kind of sounded like Lil Chucky from Young Money back in the day. I don't know why, but this feature from Playboi Carti, I actually really like a lot. Lil Yachty also had a great feature on OK OK. Didn't really sound like Lil Yachty's style. I feel like Kanye had him rap a little more than he would normally would. You know, I don't think he really had auto-tune on his verse, where normally Yachty turns that auto-tune all the way up, but pretty solid verse from Yachty too. You the type to play the joke. Yeah, I love the melody on OK OK. Absolutely amazing. These 808s that he's working with, I feel they're not generic 808s, and that's something I love to hear. It's just not the same generic drum loop that we hear in modern rap. It's definitely different. And this off the grid final verse that Kanye added is fantastic. Oh my gosh, I don't think we've heard Kanye do a lot of double time, maybe since No More Parties in LA, or before that Black Skinhead. Money could never neglect me. I pray that my family would never resent me. But an amazing freaking verse. Off the grid, great songs right there. Going back to Hurricane, I feel like Hurricane is in a tier of itself with the Weeknd feature. I mean, the Weeknd is honestly one of the best parts of this album. Love the addition. The chorus is amazing, super catchy. The use of imagery in the chorus is fantastic. I mean, you can see the shore, you can see the hurricane, you can see the lightning strike the beach. Very poetic, and just you can see what the Weeknd is singing. I love it. Yeah, just a heavenly song Hurricane is. You know, we thought this song was going to come out on Yandhi as 80 Degrees, but, you know, he also added Lil Baby on there, which this is definitely my favorite Lil Baby verse of all time. I think Lil Baby fits on this instrumental perfectly. A little different for Lil Baby, a little softer, but Hurricane's a great overall song. I think it'll definitely be a fan favorite. So the next group of songs that I'm going to put together that are very similar in feel are Jonah Jr, Believe What I Say, New Again, and Pure Souls, where I feel like these songs are definitely a little more upbeat, a little more fun, and a little more light than dark. And the production on these songs specifically do remind me a little bit of Life of Pablo, especially Pure Souls, which to me sounds a lot like highlights off of the Life of Pablo. Devil, get me happy, I'm loose, I'm free. Right? Like, doesn't that sound like highlights? Like, I need every bed up in Equinox. I don't know. That just sounds a lot like highlights to me, but these songs are a lot of fun. They make me smile. They make me want to dance. And on the song Junior, it speaks a lot about the album because, you know, it sounds like Kanye is human again, right? Like Jesus is King. It sounded like Kanye was a preacher, a pastor, but this album really makes me feel like he's human with real world problems, experiences, and real things that he goes through that people can relate to. And right, it still sounds like he has a bit of an ego, which everybody has, right? He says, move out the way of my release. And even though this album is centered on God, he's still human, but you know, he wants to be number one and he wants to win and all these things, but you know, he still does it all for God. And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Playboi Carti feature on Junior. I think this was the only feature I was like, you know, not the worst, but just wasn't as big of a fan of that one. I really love Believe What I Say. This song reminds me of Paranoid off 808s and Heartbreak. Real fun. I feel like you could dance to it. The synth is insane on here, and I love when Kanye sings, especially the line, "One last sparkle to follow in my light." This is another song you can hear Ye is rapping in prime Kanye. Like, we haven't heard Kanye really rap like this since like Life of Pablo 5 years ago, or even before that, like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, right? The next little group of songs I'm putting together is Remote Control and Moon. Now, these songs are very chill. I think they're by far the chillest songs on the album. I love the whistle on Remote, and I actually really love the Young Thug feature here. I'm not the biggest Young Thug fan, but I do really like him here. And in the third listening party, Kid Cudi was taken off Moon, and Kanye was trolling us. I think he knows exactly what he was doing with these listening parties, making us think so many different things, making us think in so many different ways. You know, people were so angry. I was so upset that Cudi was taken off Moon, but obviously in the end, he wasn't going to take his brother off Moon. Kid Cudi is the star of that song. I mean, Don Toliver, don't get me wrong, his vocals are so amazing, but Cudi's part really makes me float. Don's part really makes me float. I just, you know, it's a song that makes me want to go down to a lake with a friend, sit down on a tire swing, on a tree and look up at the moon and just float away. Moon is another one of my favorite songs next to Jail for sure. Oh my God, such a sweet moment. Yeah, the production here with the synths. Moon is one of the most beautiful songs on this album. Mike Dean absolutely outdid himself here. Next group of songs I'm going to put together are Heaven and Hell, Keep My Spirit Alive, and Jesus Lord. Now, these songs really remind me of old Kanye, a little more old school rap, right? Especially with the features where you have like Conway The Machine, Westside Gunn, Swizz, The Lox, Jay Electronica. You have all these features that really remind you a little bit of old school rap, early 2000s Kanye. Love that he's going back there with these group of songs here. And I think just between Jesus Lord parts 1 and 2, the whole song all together, the storytelling in this song is the most prodigious, the most profound. And I feel like these 3 songs are the songs that hip hop heads will love the most out of the whole entire album. And honestly, Jay and Sheik's verses were really my favorite. I think they ate those verses up. I'll need to listen to those songs a few more times to really get a feel of the overall features, but Sheik really killed it. I mean, he goes, if you ain't loyal, you from different soil. Your flame too low for your water to boil. What? The picture painted vivid, that's a family portrait. Great storytelling here. And, you know, I like the Hoover cut at the end of Jesus Lord. It's definitely interesting to hear his story and pretty eye-opening, to be honest. I think it's part of the album that people should definitely listen to more closely. And the Conway and Westside features, something I had never thought I would hear on songs of faith like this, but they both killed it. Like, there's just so much to this album. It's honestly ridiculous. I think it's great to hear, like, you know, coke rappers and just rappers of all kind and artists of all time come together and express their faith on an album like this. I really think that's a miracle. And the final group of songs that I would like to rope together are the rest of them, between 24, Donda, Lord I Need You, Come to Life, and No Child Left Behind. Now, these songs are softer, more church-y, I guess, you know, if that makes sense. You know, you have the organs, the choir, a lot more like hallelujah in these songs right here. These songs are like the light in your darkness. These are the songs that you need to listen to when you're at your darkest of times, when you need a pick-me-up. These are definitely the songs to go to. And I want to highlight 2 of those songs, especially Lord I Need You. I love this chorus so much. The melody is so pleasant, and obviously it's a love song, definitely about Kim, right? Kanye still loves her so much. You could definitely tell, especially at the 3rd listening party and within this song. No, he says them freaking is the best thing since Taco Bell and KFC. Kanye definitely still has a little bit of humor in there. I love to see it. But you could really tell his faith in God is still going to protect his family, and I love that about him. And I also love that he says that time and space are a luxury, and Kanye gets it. I think he gets it on not really a celebrity level, but a human level now, right? It feels like he can relate to us, and he is just a normal person. And his singing here is perfect. When he says your gun off safety, I mean, I'm floating. Your gun off safety. Lastly, I want to highlight Come to Life. Come to Life is so beautiful. I'm really glad that he added this song on. It seems like it probably was the last song that he added on to this album. Melody and singing when he belts out here is so beautiful. It's really hard to believe Kanye can sing like this. Like, he sings so well in a weird way. I don't know how to put it. His voice is just so smooth and pleasant. He makes us feel like that our lives are going to change for the better right here, right now, today. The piano and synths on this song are so elegant. With Kanye singing, I'm floating on a silver lining. Absolutely love that line right there. And he says Northie wants Nikes, and you could tell that hurts him in his heart and his soul. Northie, his baby girl, wants Nikes, not Adidas. Like, what is going on? But he says it's not about him, you know, it's about North. And you could tell that Kanye's just grown, you know, and I love that he's being a dad. Obviously, he probably got North the Nikes that she wanted, and I honestly think that that's something people might have missed, but I really love that he's being a really caring father right there. There's just so much about this album. I still want to listen to it a million more times to really digest it, but this is after my first listen. So, you know, there's a couple things that I'm actually sad about. Like, after listening to listening parties, I'm sad he took off the Pusha T and his rap going back and forth on Donda. That rap really helped make the song Donda, which is a great cut still. like, why did he cut out that rap part at the end? I love Tony Williams, the choir, Donda West, sample speaking at I think it was a commencement. But that song was so good, and I just can't wrap my head around why he took off that Pusha T feature and that rap on there. And then the other thing I'm sad that it's not on there is the Never Abandon Your Family. That song always gave me chills during the first and second listening party, and maybe him and Kim are getting back together, and that song was too sad for him, so he cut it out of the album. But that song really gave me chills. I wish that song was on here as well. But I'm not gonna complain too much. There's so many beautiful moments to this album roll out, so many beautiful moments on this album. This is a complete, I wouldn't say complete 180 from Jesus is King, but you could definitely tell the difference on why this album is much higher quality than Jesus is King, lyrically, production-wise, the features, everything about this is a package. You have so many different sounds on here. Just a top-tier album, and definitely album of the year for me so far. I think this is Kanye's best album since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is my favorite album of all time. Like I said, this whole package of the album, just absolutely legendary. I don't have anything else to say, man. This whole album, front to back, beautiful in every way. Production, top tier. I'm glad he took his time with this, glad he delayed it, and I'm glad it's done. Can't believe we got 26 songs. It feels like we got 2 Kanye albums. Just as a huge Kanye fan, honestly, man, I'm ecstatic. I'm so excited. I'm not going to stop listening to this album for a very, very, very long time. And I feel like people all around the world, no matter who you are, no matter what kind of music you like, you can definitely appreciate at least some of the songs on here. Even if you don't like Kanye, don't like rap, don't like this kind of music, you're definitely going to find something you enjoy on this album. So right now, I'm sure it's going to change, but my favorite songs right off the rip are Jail, Moon, Lord I Need You, and Come to Life. So what are your thoughts on the album? What are your favorite songs? What's your overall reaction? Let me know your thoughts about it. At this point, I'm just speechless, and I just want to go back and listen to it over and over. Thank you so much for coming. If you liked the video, hit a like and subscribe to the channel if you love talking music just as much as I do. And as always, you know what it is. It's peace, love. I love s'mores, EJ. Out.